there was ever anything better than one 445 Super Magnum, it's two 445 Super Magnums. Hey everybody, so it's day 2 of our shooting stick project. So far, I really like how our progress here. These sticks, if you can't tell, these things are going to be really beefy. They're going to give me a rock solid base to shoot from. Now, I've still got some more steps to do that I want to do, and what I'm going to do today is we're going to router all these sharp edges down to a radius, and I picked a simple, just a round router bit, and we're going to router off all the sharp edges off of here. And then what I want to do is I'm going to map out and cut our screw holes for our center screw. We're going to map those out. We're going to punch them in. I'm not sure whether I'm going to do 4 or 5 yet. Maybe we'll do 5. Just to give ourselves a good range of adjustment, right, from being able to mount higher up versus being able to mount lower down, right. And when I was using the prototype sticks, I actually really liked the lower down position, believe it or not. For the reasons we talked about, it gives me that opportunity to rest my rifle barrel down there and push a bore wiper and a patch through really easy. So, at anywho, come on in and let's clamp these things to the old sawhorse and get to routering. Full charge. Let's rock. Alright guys, so we're working on our sticks, and I had it in my mind that I was going to drill all these holes by hand, and I actually started doing that, and as you can probably imagine, I'm none too happy with the results. Turns out that trying to go through 2 inches of hard walnut, you can't drill a straight hole by hand. If you can do it, God love you. I can't do it. And the other thing that I noticed is that I put the holes too close together. This is 1 inch spacing right here, right? So on my first set of sticks, I now have a additional wood putty project, because we're going to eliminate half of these holes, and we're going to go with 2 inch spacing in 4 locations. I add an extra one up here. So what I'm going to do, and then I was searching for a drill press. Turns out none of my buddies have one, so I did what everybody does, and I ran to Harbor Freight and got one right there. It's that model right there. It's the one on clearance for 140 bucks. I suspect it's probably always on clearance, like everything at Harbor Freight. But I've punched a few holes in a piece of scrap wood, and the thing seems to work pretty damn good, honestly. I can't complain about it. It wasn't that hard to assemble. It's pretty straightforward. All the parts were there. Everything kind of came covered in oil, but there's no rust on it. The parts seem pretty solid for the money spent. I have a very hard time complaining about that thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish drilling our cross holes in these sticks. Okay, and once that's done, we're going to use a countersink. I got some countersinks today. We're going to chamfer those holes out so they're nice and smooth, and then it's time to go to town with the sander. I also bought a can of wipe-on poly finish. I'm not really planning to stain these sticks or anything like that. I think the natural walnut grain is going to be good to go. We're going to go with a coat or two of wipe-on satin poly and call that good. That part of it will be done. So that's where I'm hoping to get to tonight. So let's get after it. There we go. Now we've got ourselves a wood putty project here, filling these little holes, and we're going to commence the sanding. Countersink bit. Alright, so we've got some sanding to do. We're going to start with 150 grit right here, and then we're going to go to 220. I'm going to keep in mind that this is not a rifle stock, right? And this one's been sanded down to the 150. Touched up a little bit of the routering on the wood. Some spots where you sand and have to take off a little more material, it kind of screws with your edge. So we rerouted a couple spots, but it's all looking pretty good. The holes are not really all that noticeable. And so this one's done. Now we need to hit this one here. And I've got my stuff on an old towel, and I've got a clean rag here that I can I'll just wipe off the wood while I'm going to kind of make sure that things look the way I want. Okay, so the next thing on our design for our sticks, we need a stud coming out of here to stick our belt on, right? And I thought about it for a while, and what I figured to do is I got a couple of these lag screws, right? And these are way longer than what I need. But this length right here is about right for the stud. The only problem is that head's got to come off, right? Now luckily upstairs in the garage I've got a rotary grinder, and I can take that off, and then what I'll do is I'll just kind of round off the top of the stud. But first things first, I have to drill another hole in the top of each stake, and I obviously don't want to drill 5 inches into the stick. I really only want this thing to go in a couple inches, frankly. So first thing I got to do is I need to cut these off. And then I need to pre-drill these tops. And I'm not going to try to countersink these holes up here. This thing, what I want is for this thing to just stick right out of the wood just like it grew there, right? Be looking like this from the, if you looked at it from the side. And that's all I need, because the sticks will sit cross like this, and this thing will come out, so the belt's not going to come off. It's not going to loosen. And real simple adjustment, you know, just something really simple you can put together by yourself. So what I need to do is figure out how to get my drill press mounted so that I can drill a straight hole down the center of each one of these ends of these sticks. Alright, so this is fairly awkward, but I'm trying to do it so you guys can see. I've got my center location marked out on the end of each stick, and I'm going to get it with this punch. Make sure I give myself like the best possible start for my drill. Because I farted around with that drill press, or with the drill press, and there's absolutely no way that I can rotate the head enough to accommodate the length of these sticks. So I'm stuck doing this as a hand drill, and here goes nothing. There's one. There we go. Okay, there's that. in. And there we go. Might take a razor knife and just erase a little bit of burrs right about there, right on the edge. But that'll clean up real easy with a razor blade. So there we go. There's one stud installed. Okay, we've got our trusty clamps set. Ha-ha! There's our first one right there. I'm hoping you can see that. Now we still gonna router or grind that off, grind it smooth, polish it so that it's not a sharp edge. All right, so the next step is going to be to clean up this edge, and I'm going to do this very slowly and not put a lot of pressure on here because I don't want to have any weird vibrations, you know, that could split the stick. I don't think it will, but still we're going to go nice and slow. Pretty much free of any burrs. Nice and round. Shouldn't hurt anything. Good. Sure, why not? So that's it for today. What's coming next is wood finish. Give her a try. Wow.